Welcome to Stoked with Megan McPhail, the podcast that helps you get super effing jazzed about your work, life, and bank account. I'm your host, Megan McPhail, a former burnt-out emergency veterinarian that quit my hard-earned career to become a seven-figure business coach, entrepreneur, and elopement photographer. Now I'm living a life I absolutely love, full of travel, adventure, and financial abundance, and I am hell-bent on inspiring others to do the same. Are you ready to say goodbye to the 9-to-5 grind and start going after some big, bold dreams? Then let's dive into this week's episode. Hey, it's your host, Megan McPhail, and today's episode is all about how I became an online coach. I think it's a pretty fun little story and hopefully it inspires you to kind of think outside the box on what you can do for your income. So I was an emergency veterinarian. I think most people know that by now. And I became obsessed with photography. And when I moved to Colorado, I started photographing mountain weddings, Colorado weddings, and loved it, and started building my photography business on the side, basically as a way to stay sane while being an emergency vet. And I did both jobs full time for a couple years, a year and a half, until I was able to quit my veterinary job, thank God, and just do wedding photography full time. And then I was kind of doing like weddings and elopements and loving it. And then I started doing more elopements than weddings. And I fulfilled one of my dreams, which was to live out of an RV and just travel the Southwest, going from elopement to elopement. So I did that in 2019. And when 2020 came along, I got a little studio apartment in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I was starting my life over after a divorce. My elopement photography business was thriving, and COVID hit. And photographers were freaking out. And my business was just fine. I was able to coast for a while. Like I could go months without working and survive. So I decided during lockdown to give back to the photography community. And I started doing free mentorship phone calls. And I essentially set up like a little scheduling app. And I would take one phone call a day, Monday through Thursday, and anybody could schedule them. They were free. And I did those for a couple months. And I actually mentored 30 or 40 photographers. It was awesome. I loved every single conversation. After every mentor phone call, I was pumped. I was jazzed. I had so much information to give people, so many mindset shifts to give people. Like I had no idea some of this knowledge even existed in my head. It was super rewarding. People were so thankful. And I just knew that I had to become an educator somehow. I just knew I had to. I'd always loved teaching, like when I was younger. Before I became a veterinarian, I tutored people in AP chemistry and AP physics and for ACT and SAT prep and stuff like that. And then when I was in vet school, I also tutored people for, respiratory physiology and anatomy and stuff like that. And when I was an intern, I would take the new interns under my wing and kind of teach them the ropes and stuff like that. I just have always loved teaching and educating people and kind of being a role model and the responsibility behind it. Like I've just always loved it. So in 2020, during lockdown, doing all these mentorship phone calls, it just sealed the deal for me that I wanted to be an educator for photographers. I just did not have any idea how to do that. I mean, for years I had on my website, hey, if you want to mentor with me, like we can set up a phone call for an hour or a style shoot together or whatever. And like no one ever really took me up on it except one or two people. So I'm like, I have no idea how to accomplish this. I also knew that I didn't want to just be another photographer that created an online course. Because what I was finding from talking with all these people is that all of them had online courses. They had all spent thousands and thousands of dollars on various online courses about photography, posing, business, elopements, all this stuff. And like either they never finished them or they didn't know how to implement the information in there. So that was a very common theme amongst everybody that they had these online courses and they just didn't get them where they wanted to be. So I knew I didn't want to do online courses. And I also knew I didn't want to do in-person workshops as like my sole education. I still do them, but I also didn't feel like those were giving the impact to people that they needed. So this one day at the end of 2020, I got an email and it was about, finding your purpose and figuring out what you want to do in your business and stuff like that, and kind of felt aligned with what I was struggling with. And it was for a group coaching program, which I had never really heard of before or seen. And I joined, and there was like 5 of us, and we spent 12 weeks together kind of working through a bunch of different things. And at the end of it, I was like, oh my God, I want to create a group coaching program for elopement photographers. Like, this is what I'm going to do, because it's so powerful to have a curriculum and have a teacher and have personalized feedback and just a group of people to talk to and relate to. And I mean, it was a game changer for me. So I'm like, that's it. I'm creating a curriculum. I basically created a whole step-by-step process that photographers would go through that would hit every part of their business, whether it needed work or it was good to go, and that took me a little while to do. And then I created a web page for it. I created a new Instagram account. I created an email list. I read the book Launch by Jeff Walker, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so jazzed. This is what it's going to be. I know it's going to be hard because photographers don't really know about group coaching programs, but I'm going to do it. And I launched it out into the world, and I got like 1 person to sign up. And it was kind of a flop, but I did gain interest. I did get some one-on-one people. Like, I got some one-on-one coaching students. My next launch, with the right resources, I hired my own coach. I hired a copywriter. I started doing things the right way, and I launched my next group coaching program for like $36,000. And then the next launch was like $54,000. And I figured out how to launch. I figured out how to teach people the concepts that they needed. And then I started getting feedback from people on how much they were improving in their business. And it was crazy. I mean, the results people get are insane. So that's kind of how I came to be an online coach. Essentially, I offered all those free mentorship phone calls in 2020. I saw some underlying issues after talking with so many people. I knew I could help them. I just didn't know in what capacity I was going to do it. And then I was introduced to group coaching, thought it was amazing, knew photographers needed it, was definitely the first person on the scene for elopement photographers to offer this kind of group coaching program. Had amazing success, not just personally, but also for everybody that enrolled. I mean, people were going from booking $1,500 elopements or never booking an elopement at all to like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, like far exceeding what my expectations even were for people. Like, people were just kicking ass in these programs. So then I changed it from only having 12 people to being able to accommodate 40 to 50 people. That's when things really took off. And then now, not only do I coach elopement photographers, but I'm also coaching people how to create their own group coaching programs and launch them into the world so that they can make this huge difference and also make money for like helping people. And it's pretty freaking amazing. And it makes me wonder why anybody spends money on formal education, like degrees, anymore. Because if you can just spend a few grand and learn how to run a 6-figure business, that's pretty freaking amazing. Because it cost me like $140,000 to get my veterinary degree. And I hear people all the time who are like, I hate my job. I'm going to go back to school and spend 2 years learning, taking out another $100K worth of student loans. And then like, hopefully I like this job. And like literally anything that you want to do out there, any kind of e-commerce brand, coaching, any kind of service, product, anything, you can learn how to do it from somebody who has done it. And I just think that that is freaking amazing. and crazy. And like the fact that we live in this world right now that allows people to go out and make a very good living doing something that they love and that gets them jazzed up and feels like their true purpose in life is just like so freaking cool. So at this point in time, I have booked over $750,000 worth of coaching, which is pretty insane to me. And I have helped elopement photographers book conservatively more than $4 million worth of elopements. It's probably even more than that. Those are like conservative estimates. So my next move is to start collecting data from people, from all my students, so that I can show exactly the results that I'm going to get. Because one of my big pet peeves of a lot of industries is that people can publish online courses, promise the world that you're going to hit this, that, and the other amazing success or amazing goal. So they publish these online courses and then they don't track the results. They don't know if anybody is even finishing them. And online courses historically have a very low completion rate, depending on the studies. Some say 3 to 6%, some say 5 to 15% completion rates. So anybody out there with an online course that hasn't finished it, you are part of the vast majority. Most people don't, myself included. And no hate to the people that create online courses. It's just, that just is what it is. People do not finish them. So no matter what amazing information you have in there, people don't finish them, and they certainly don't know how to implement the information in there. So that's why when I discovered coaching, it was like this huge light bulb went off for me, because I knew my priority was getting amazing results for people. And it wasn't just dropping knowledge bombs and hoping people knew what to do with it. It was actually like, I am going to help you take the actions needed to get this business up and running. I'm not going to knowledge bomb you. I'm going to spoon feed only the bare necessities that you need to make money. If you want to go back and do a deep dive on these subjects after you are getting inquiries and bookings and all that stuff, be my guest. But right now, when you're in the beginning stages of your business and you just need to bring bookings in the door, like, let's not become geniuses about all these subjects. Let's just do what we have to do to get you bookings. Let's not knowledge bomb you. So I knew that I wanted to do something completely different. I wanted to kind of rock the boat of the education industry, and I wanted to prioritize getting results for people. So after basically live teaching all of my concepts for elopement photographers and basically seeing them in real time, getting results, doing the work, overcoming roadblocks, overcoming limiting beliefs, upping their prices, getting booked and getting inquiries, then I took all that information when I was like, okay, I know exactly how to teach this to get results. I recorded everything so that I didn't have to live teach it anymore. So now in the elopement photographer mastermind, my lessons and my roadmap are pre-recorded, but we still meet up as a group. They still submit homework to me, which I then review and respond to. So with group coaching and masterminds and stuff, there's a 95% completion rate, which is freaking awesome. So just the structure of it encourages more people to complete everything, because you're in a group, you are being held accountable, you are being supported, you're getting personalized feedback. You're encouraged to take action. You're rewarded for it. So people get shit done in group coaching programs, which is why they are so freaking cool. And they are still kind of an unknown in the photography world. And I'm really trying to work hard to get more and more people to launch group coaching programs, because they are freaking life-changing. And I will sing their praises all day long. Anytime someone comes to me wanting to do an online course, I'm like, no. Do group coaching first. Get results. Learn how to teach people so that they take action on things, And then later on, when you're established and you have results for people, if you want to make a little online course that is short and actionable and can be done in an afternoon or something, go for it. But if you really want to change lives and help people, do a group coaching program, because the results people get are crazy. And I'm going to be collecting more and more data so that people feel more and more comfortable joining my programs, because they'll see like the success rates are insane. And if you do the work, you're going to hit 6 figures in your business. And there isn't like this, like, oh, is it going to work for me? Like, la, 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 like, I don't know, back and forth. If you join, it works. So I'm doing that for my elopement photographer mastermind. I'm collecting data. And then I'm also doing that for my Stoked to Coach program, which is where I'm teaching people to be coaches and how to create, build, map out, and launch their own group coaching programs. People are killing it in there. It's a newer program, so I don't have as many wins, but like, pretty much everybody who has launched their group coaching has made anywhere from $6,000, $8,000, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000. So that's in addition to their photography income, which is so freaking cool. And why not take the knowledge in your head and help other people with it and get paid well to do it? Like, it just is a win-win for everybody. So that's my little story. I feel like I kind of went on a little tangent, and I definitely wanted to plug my programs because they're amazing. But that's my story. And really, being an online coach, if you have something that you're passionate about that you can teach others, you should do it. You should absolutely do it, because so many of us are just taught from a young age to study and put our nose in a book and do everything on our own, when really having people who have done the thing that you want to do, or like helping people do the thing that you have done, there's just nothing more rewarding. And the money is nice. The money is definitely awesome too, and it has completely changed my life. But I always want to circle back to the fact that for whatever money I get, someone is getting a substantial return on that investment. And that is a huge part of my business, is that I do not create programs or courses where I don't expect people to get a significant return on their investment. I can't say the same for a lot of online courses where results aren't tracked. And, you know, it's like, well, if they don't even open the course, like, that's on them. Like, I'm really here to inspire people, to rock the boat, to change education, to change people's lives, to get them dreaming bigger than they've ever dreamt before, to get them hitting goals that they never thought was going to be possible for them. Like, that's the most rewarding thing you can ever do. And while the money part of things is a great objective way to kind of gauge your success, just knowing that the people who trusted that money to me are getting an even bigger return on their investment and are doing amazing things, like, that's the most important part. Like, I don't ever want anybody to forget that. And I teach that to my coaching students as well. Like, remember, when we're talking about money and we're making money goals, it's really not the money. It's just that that's an easy thing to track. It's more about the results that we're getting, the people that are trusting us, the people that we're working with, their results, their changes. That's the most important part of our businesses. And if the money is just a representation of all the good you are doing in the world, then fuck yeah, I want to make millions. You know? And like, that was such a crazy concept for me to come to terms with. I think it was reading Jen Sincero's book, you know, You're a Badass at Making Money, where I was like, oh my God, millions? Like, if you're making millions of dollars by helping people, then that is just a representation of helping so many people. So anyway, just some things to think about. If you ever want to pursue coaching, definitely hit me up, because I can help you either by enrolling you in one of my coaching programs or pointing you in the right direction. I'm here. I mean, I kind of joke about it, but I am here to change the world. I'm here to help people dream bigger, to do crazy things, to take the risks. And hopefully you listening are inspired to do the same. Thanks so much for joining us on this episode of Stoked with Megan McPhail. If you enjoyed the show and you'd like to help support the podcast, please subscribe, leave a review, and tell a friend. If you're looking for more inspiring content, check us out on Instagram at Stoked with Megan McPhail. And to learn more about my business coaching and how I can personally help you quit your 9-to-5, visit my website at meganmcphail.com. I hope this leaves you feeling stoked. See you next week.